Liam, should I build an agency in 2024? Well, this is a question that I get a lot, and this video is going to give you my real and honest feedback on whether I think building an agency is the best business model for you right now. Now, I'm pretty biased because I run an AI automation agency, but over the last 7 years, I've done pretty much everything except for Amazon FBA. So done all the dropshipping stuff, done the whole e-com game, made some good money, moved on to other things, and now I've kind of landed up at my agency. So look, let's go through my opinion on building an agency. Realistically, I personally think it's the easiest business model that's going to take you from 0 to 5 to 10K per month. Now, there are caveats to this, and there are reasons why I think this is the easiest business model, but just from an overview and just from like a basic understanding of the business model itself, when it comes to building an agency, there are very little startup costs. So it means that you can go from 0, like literal 0, and you can do it from anywhere in the world, right? So bear that in mind. This is why I do like this. When it comes to e-commerce or Amazon FBA or any of these other business models, there are some pretty big upfront costs you need to take on, whether that be Facebook ads or maybe buying stock upfront to send to Amazon, all of that stuff. So for a beginner, it makes a lot of sense. Now, there are a few things that you're going to need to make an agency work for you in 2024. Number one is going to be a brain. You need a brain, okay? You need to actually be able to strategically think and understand business. What you need to become is obsessive about business. You need to really understand the fundamentals of businesses, what makes people make decisions, how to negotiate with business owners, and in general, just how to communicate with other people. Building an agency for me is a lot of networking. It's a lot of like back and forth, building relationships, working with your clients closely, understanding their pain points, really coming up with a creative strategy and a smart solution in terms of how you can help them. But yeah, it all boils down to, you know, the people that you meet and the relationships that you build. That for me has been the biggest game changer in my agency. That is how we predominantly get a lot of our clients. And those are the clients we want to work with. We want to work with the clients that we have a good relationship with. Now, alongside that, you're going to need a resilient mindset. You need to be the sort of person who isn't going to give up at the first hurdle, who is willing to put in hundreds of hours of work until they actually see any results. And if that isn't you, then I just don't think being an entrepreneur or running a business is for you anyway. Most of the time, every single new business owner or new entrepreneur who's just stepping foot into the field is going to face hundreds of hours of hard work with no upside guarantees. They're going to have failures, they're going to have losses, they're going to have doubt. So you have to have a resilient mind that can block all of that out and just focus on the important stuff. Finally, time. You're going to have to actually allocate some time towards building this agency, learning these skills that you lack, and in general, just becoming better at the service that you're trying to provide. So I would say anywhere between 3 to 4 hours per day. When I was first getting started out with online business, I was working like 2-3 jobs at the time. I was washing dishes in Australia whilst also working in a call center. I would then come home and sink 3 hours into my Shopify dropshipping store, and that is how I got it off the ground. Now, if you're sat there making excuses and you come back from work and you're like, oh, I'm tired, I've been working all day long and it's 5 p.m. now, I deserve to watch some Netflix, then again, this isn't for you and you should probably click off this video and go play some Fortnite. But hopefully, if you are watching this video, that is you. You do have a resilient mind and you can and you're willing to put in the effort, even though it's only 3 to 4 hours per day. Now, what is the process of building an agency? Your core purpose as an agency owner is to find people or business owners that have a problem. Now, once you found that person, you then need to find a way to solve that problem. And that is then your service delivery. You're obviously going to charge money to actually solve that problem as well. And then you can continue solving that problem on a longer term basis with every single client. Now, most people overcomplicate this. They think, you know, how does it even work? How does running an agency work? And what is the process? And in reality, although this sounds super simple and basic, that's because it is. It really is just finding who you can help, giving them a solution and actually helping them, and then continuing to help them, and you can charge them along the way, right? So if we break it down and boil it down into its simplest form, that is all an agency is. And I kind of want you to have that mindset moving forward over the next few months. Whatever you do, whatever business model you start, try to really simplify everything. And what it allows you to do is to stop procrastinating and to stop worrying about the small finite details that in reality don't actually matter. You focus on this core structure, and I guarantee you, everything will make a lot more sense, and you'll be able to, know where you've got to attack next and what tasks you need to do and what you need to do to help you drive towards that goal. Now, some of the common problems I see when people are first trying to build their agency, and I know this because when I was first building my social media marketing agency several years ago, I went through a lot of problems and I made these mistakes. A lot of people, when they get into building an agency, they try to sign all these clients and they are the ones doing all the work and they think they need to know all the skills of the service delivery. And the reality is that just means you're a glorified freelancer. You might as well be offering your services on Fiverr or Upwork. that isn't running an agency, that's you doing all the work. And you might as well just go and get a job, because then at least you're guaranteed to get paid every single month. Whereas with an agency, you're gonna have to graft and you're gonna have to work hard. What you want to do is you want to position yourself so you fully understand the service that you're offering and the service that you're delivering, but you aren't necessarily the one who's delivering on it. Now, the way you get around this is by charging enough money to every single client so that you can then hire in a team underneath you to facilitate the service delivery, so you can then focus on building the business and scaling the business. What you'll find is these people that run these agencies and they do all the work themselves end up burning out because they can't take on more than 3 clients, and then they just lose interest and then they move on to something else. And what happens is they don't have enough time to actually focus on the real important things of when it comes to building a business, which is building the business. They don't get an opportunity to focus on that because they're constantly working in the business. They don't have any time to reflect over the business and see what's working and what's not. They can't make any changes because they're constantly delivering for clients, and it's just a nightmare to be in. I've been there and it really isn't fun. You kind of start to question your entire existence when you're just sat there doing work for clients that are seemingly not paying you too much money when you're first getting started out as well. So something to consider. Eventually people just end up jumping ship, changing business model, moving to drop shipping, start selling, fucking crap on TikTok shop, whatever they do, I don't know, but that is not the guy or the girl you want to be. Now, what sort of agency could you build? If you do want to get into the agency space and you want to start an agency in 2024, what are some good options? A lot of people seem to think it's only social media marketing, or it's only short form content editing, or it's only AI automation agencies. The reality is there are no wrong or right answer to this. Again, if we simplify it, we're finding people with a problem, we're helping solve that problem, and then we're selling that problem to them. So we could be helping dog walkers land more clients. You could help YouTubers create more content. You could help real estate agencies sell more homes. You could help gym owners bring more people into their gym. You could even build an AI chatbot that replaces receptionists for dentists. You see what I've done here? I've gone niche specific. I've picked a certain niche that we're helping. We've looked at pain points that they have. The dog walkers, maybe they're not landing enough clients, so therefore we help dog walkers generate more leads and close more business. Or the dentists with their receptionists, we know the pain point is around the reception desk. We know that's a bottleneck for the business, so we help alleviate that bottleneck, and we specifically work with dentists. Now, I'm not saying go out and start these agencies right now, but I'm just giving you a framework to understand how you can start to structure your agency and understand the actual layers that are involved. Now, there are some agency models that I think personally are very, very saturated. Now, I know a lot of you may not think the same, and that's fine. This is my opinion. I personally think running Facebook ads for people is super commoditized, very saturated, and hard to land clients. I tried this for a good 6 months. Now, maybe it was because I was a shit salesman back then, or I just didn't know what I was doing, but I found it very difficult to actually charge anything substantial to any kind of business, because probably I had no network, I had no relationships with other business owners, and I was cold calling these different companies trying to sell them Facebook ads. We see it all the time. This model has been around for a long time, the SMMA model. Tons of people are doing it. There's a lot of competition. Therefore, I think it's saturated. Does that mean it can't work? Absolutely not. But does it mean that you should start it in 2024? Probably not, because there are better opportunities. Now, again, running Google ads for businesses. I've run Google ads for businesses in the past, and yes, it was good, but again, very saturated. There's a lot of competition. These business owners are being hit up left, right, and center for these services. So we want to find something that we can break through, cut through the noise, and actually offer something unique. Now, as someone who creates content on YouTube, you can imagine the state of my DMs. I'm constantly getting hit up by people trying to sell me short form content editing or long form content editing. And to be honest, it's just a minefield. There's so many people. I honestly get like 4 or 5 DMs per day. That tells me it's probably oversaturated and you should look to offer something else, or at least not change your offer, but bulk out the offer so it's a little bit different. Rather than just offering content editing, why don't you offer a whole strategic package where you step in as almost like the YouTube manager, right? Like there's so many different ways of doing it. There's no wrong or right way, but just offering short form content editing is not the one. I also think copywriting for entrepreneurs on the platforms like X or for my emails newsletter, this is also something I get hit up with left, right, and center, and it's almost impossible to really distinguish who's decent and who's shit. So with that said, let's go over some agency models that I don't see often and something that you could potentially attack this year. High quality growth partners for online coaches. We see a lot of people stepping in and handling individual sectors of a business. Maybe it's the ads, maybe it's the landing pages. But what if you did the whole approach? What if you stepped in and you helped online content creators just like me structure their funnel, structure their email strategy, structure their YouTube content, structure their sales messaging, structure their communities in Discord? again, you are creating that leveraged offer where you are that one person who offers this. Now, I know there are agencies doing this and they make a lot of money. So this could potentially be a good option for you if you do have a wide skill set and you understand how these businesses work online. What about a CRM management agency? So many businesses use a CRM, but they use them to like 20% of the capabilities that they actually have. These CRMs on the likes of HubSpot, most people don't know the functionalities of HubSpot, or they don't know how to efficiently run a CRM. Why don't you become an expert in that and go and offer that service to businesses? We want to find a service that is sticky, a service that people want to keep coming back for and they don't want to just churn from. So locking yourself into a CRM system with a client is an insanely valuable way to ensure that you are the guy and you sit on a retainer for several months, because once they've found you and once you've got it working, they're probably not going to want to change and start to disrupt the flow of their new business. Now, I said content editing agencies aren't the one, but what about a content strategy agency? So someone who steps in for YouTubers and actually handles the entire content side of things. Just like I said, the editing, the script writing, the planning, the thumbnails, the topics, the marketing for the videos, the comment management for the videos. You could be a completely full agency there that goes and offers this service out to everyone, and it isn't something that I've seen offered a lot. And then lastly, our agency, this is what we do. We are AI consultants. We've built an AI automation agency where we step into businesses and we help them automate and solve problems within their business utilizing the power of AI. Now, I've got so many videos on this channel about building an AI automation agency. So if that's something you want to see, subscribe to this channel and check out those videos. I personally think this is probably the best agency to build in 2024, as you would probably know if you've been watching my videos on this channel. But moving on. Now, I don't think it'd be fair for me to not give any pros and cons of building an agency, because of course, yes, this is a good business model, but there are also cons to it, as with everything. So the cons to building an agency is a lot of the services you offer are already being offered. Now, this kind of falls back into what we've just spoken about the saturation in the market and the different models that I personally think are overdone. There are a lot, and there are a lot of people trying different things. So trying to find something completely unique maybe anyway isn't the best idea, because we want to find something where there's proof that it's worked before and there's people that have case studies of it actually working for their clients. So yes, there are a lot of things that are oversaturated in the agency space, but if you can be unique and you can put your own twist on things, I think it mitigates all of those issues. Now, there is a fairly steep learning curve. You aren't going to be able to step into this as a complete beginner, start landing clients and start delivering for your clients. If I jump on a sales call and I sell AI to businesses and I didn't know anything about AI or the services that we're offering and I had no sales skills, chances are I'd be sat there looking like an absolute muppet, because they would be asking me questions about what I do and I wouldn't know what the hell I offer. I'm like, I don't know what AI is, sir. Sorry, I don't know why I booked this call. I'm so nervous. Like, we have to bypass that. We have to become experts at sales. We have to become experts at speaking to people and understanding businesses and seeing how we can package up our services into a smart offer that is going to be valuable for someone else. And then lastly, just like I said, it's pretty labor intensive when you first getting started. There are lots of things that you need to learn. You are going to need to invest time in learning and upskilling yourself, and you are going to have to invest time in doing outreach without any guarantees of anyone responding to you. Now, this list of cons I know looks fairly short. This is honestly what I could think of off the top of my head. And personally, I don't think there are many cons around it. It all depends on the choices you make early on inside of your agency. You know, are you going to be the one doing the service delivery? How are you going to land your clients? What sort of clients are you going to work with? So now let's get into the pros of building an agency. This list is a little bit longer. So you get location freedom. You can work from anywhere in the world. Now, myself, I went to like 15, 20 different countries last year alone, working remotely, and I was able to sustain my business from working overseas. So if you want to travel the world and you want location freedom, then building an agency is perfect for that, because honestly, all you really need is your laptop and yourself and a good internet connection. Next up, we have infinite options of service delivery opportunities. You know, there are so many different variables and opportunities that you could put together to go and offer to clients. You don't have to get bogged down into specific videos that you've seen online and how people are doing it their way, because at the end of the day, your journey is going to be different to mine. We're all very different in this world, and what you find interesting, I may find completely boring and I don't want to work with. So maybe you do love working with dog walkers. Maybe you're obsessed with law firms or accountants and that is your niche. you become an expert in that field and you go and serve that field as best as you can. There really are unlimited amount of options for you when it comes to the different services that you could offer. I really find that once you've nailed down your systems and once you've understood exactly who you're helping and the pain point that you're solving, and you've got your pricing sorted out, everything's running smoothly, you've got service delivery handled, then once that's all productized, you can scale these agencies pretty fast. And when I say pretty fast, I don't mean to $1 million a month in 2 months, but you could potentially go from 0 to 25K per month within a year, for example. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. There's little to no startup costs, so very, very easy to get started. You don't need to start running ads. You don't need to do anything like that. You don't even need to set up a website. Now, for me, running an agency teaches you invaluable skills. It teaches you so much, and it kind of covers a really wide spectrum. It covers sales, it covers marketing, it covers the service delivery aspect, it covers team management, client management. And what happens is you can actually take all of those skills and you can take them into other businesses that you then go on to start. So it's an invaluable skill set to learn. And this business model for me teaches you everything you need to know about business. And I feel like it's such a good place for beginners to start out at. Alongside that is high margin. We run at around 60% margins at our agency after team cost and delivery cost. And for me, I want my agency to be a cash flow business that then fuels us to create SaaS products and different solutions there. So it's a very good cash flow business with good high margins if you're pricing the right way, if you understand exactly what it is you're selling and the value you're providing. And then lastly, it's a simple process to get started, as you already know. Now, if you're sat here and you're like, Liam, you've sold me, I want to go start an agency this year, what do I need to do? This is all you're going to need to focus on in the next 3 months to ensure that you stand a good chance of making this work. You need to go and find person A, let's call them, and you need to master the skills that are going to be valuable to that person. Once we've done that, we're going to learn how to package up those skills that we just learned that are valuable for person A, and we're going to build an offer. We're going to structure it into some form of message that we can then send to person A. Once that's done, we're going to find where person A exists online. Maybe they're in Discord communities or Facebook group, or maybe we can find them in Instagram DMs or on LinkedIn. Wherever it is, it's going to be different for the niche that you pick. We're going to find out where they exist online, right? And once we've done that, we can then take our offer, take the value that we put together, take the skill sets, take our messaging, and we're going to put it in front of person A wherever they are online, and we're going to give away what we're trying to sell them for completely free. Yes, free. We're going to give it away. Now, the reason why we do this is it allows us to get experience. It allows us to learn these skills whilst working with a real client. And it's going to teach you invaluable skills and allow you to build up this network and build up these relationships with these different clients. Now, you don't have to do this forever. I recommend working for free, maybe for your first 3 jobs to get your foot in the door and build your confidence so that you can actually see that what you're doing is actually helping people. And then once you have that, you are then way more aligned to go out and reach out to person B and actually start making money from that person and actually be able to charge them because you know what you're offering works. You know that you've helped person A so well and they've made a video for you, filming a case study saying how amazing your services are. It makes the process of selling much, much easier. So yeah, we assess the results that we receive on those free jobs. We then make changes, make tweaks, we put a price tag on it, and then we go sell it to person B. That is the blueprint that you need to focus on over the next 3 months. And I promise you this, if you just stick to this, this is all you need to do to build an agency. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a website. You don't need any crazy branding or logos. Just go and find the person that you want to help, learn how to help them, give it away for free, and then make adjustments and changes based on your learnings from those free projects. Now, just like I said, we are building an AI automation agency. I run it to this day. I'm not just sat here talking about how I used to run an agency. I literally run it right now. We're having client calls almost every single day at this point. And why do I think an AI automation agency is the best agency model in 2024? Well, if we think about it, look at the hype trend that AI is on right now. Look how crazy it is developing and how fast it's changing. Over the last 12 months, we've seen an insane amount of new tech coming out, and 92% of all Fortune 500 companies are starting to use AI in some way. So for me, 2024 is the year that other business owners start to incorporate AI or start to pay attention to AI in some way, and they're going to look to see how they could be using AI to increase efficiencies or reduce costs inside of their business. So for me, building an AI automation agency is probably the best model in 2024. It's not as saturated. It does take a higher level of skills to get involved into it. So that means it puts the barrier of entry a little bit higher, meaning there's less people that are going out there and offering these services. But if you did want to learn how to build an AI automation agency, we have a group called The Network. Now, there's over 300 agency owners inside of that Discord channel who are all building their agencies with us live on Discord. We have masterclasses every single week. We walk you through exactly what needs to be done. And we've seen people go from 0 to 10K in a matter of 60 days inside of the network. So if that is something you're interested in, you can find links down below in the description. One of them is going to take you to the network where you can find out more about this community. And the other is going to allow you to watch some free training that we put together for those of you who are looking for a little bit more one-on-one consulting, a little bit more one-on-one support, rather than just a group setting inside of a Discord channel. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you do like these sort of uploads, let me know down below in the comments. Are you going to be building an agency in 2024? Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. That's all from me today. Bye-bye.